Welcome to The Show Off, the podcast where we make each other sit down, shut up, and watch episodes of our favorite TV shows and then explain, or be forced to listen to, why it's top-tier television. This show is for anyone who has ever wanted to go on endless tangents about their favorite shows, but their friends and family don't want to hear it. We get it. Ditch those losers and come hang out with us instead. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Campy.
And this is The Show Off.
Previously on the Show Off podcast.
So, our next episode is called Death's Hand in Mine.
Okay. So, Rio collects bodies.
Mm-hmm.
That's all.
Okay. What has Lilia's outbursts been?
Yeah.
And also the tarot cards.
Tarot card reading is done yet, which is why Lilia's not dead. Yeah.
Is somebody gonna die?
No. They're gonna get resurrected. I'm just spitballing here.
Alice comes back.
Everyone comes back. Agatha's original coven comes back. But also, where's Rio?
Where is Rio?
Where the fuck is she?
Where is she?
Is Rio Senor Scratchy? I don't know. I'm just throwing everything at the wall.
I actually love that theory. Actually, that's amazing.
That's all I got.
I mean, true, it's hard to predict.
We're recording.
Alrighty. We are back. It is post-holiday. Well, between holidays.
Yeah.
Post-Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry belated Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Happy early New Year.
It is now April when this episode is
All right. Totally. No, that's so real. We are so far ahead.
I should really say Happy Easter.
I was going to say April seems maybe a little bit far. Maybe early March, though, by the time this goes up.
I believe in us.
We'll see. But yeah, we are back with Agatha All Along. Quick recap. We are on the Witch's Road.
We are.
We have done 1, 2, 3 trials.
Right.
Jen's, Alice's, and Agatha's.
Okay. Yes, correct.
You're
I'm
like,
following.
Names? Yes. Sure. Alice has died.
Alice has died.
Rio has joined us on the road and
has
promptly
mysteriously
disappeared.
vanished. I'm very upset about this. Where is Rio gone?
And our Mr. Teen is actually Billy Maximoff.
I don't know why my mind went to the name of Simon. I literally just got done editing a WandaVision episode 2, and I'm like, his name is Simon.
Extremely incorrect. Like, not even close.
Is it Billy?
Billy.
And who's the other one?
Tommy.
Okay, Tommy.
Mm-hmm. So we've just found out Billy's / William's whole little backstory and how he had this car crash. He was in this car crash with his parents.
He got reincarnated.
William died. Billy entered William's body and took it over. And he has magic powers, a la Wanda. And then he found Agatha in Westview and freed her from Wanda's spell. And we got to see the alternate version of how that really happened in real life.
Which was very chaotic and clumsy, and I fucking loved it.
And yeah, chaotic is a good word for it. Yeah, and now we're back on the Witch's Road.
Yeah, and Billy's whole thing is he wants to find Tommy.
He wants to find Tommy. That's his goal. Billy's goal is he wants to find Tommy, not Wanda.
No, yeah.
He actually seems to dislike Wanda. Or it's unclear.
It is unclear, but he's not too fussed about missing Mama.
No, not at this point.
And dear old Dad's has been scrapped and sold for parts, apparently. Although, isn't there like the Cyberlife vision flying around out there?
Cyberlife vision is floating around out in the ether.
I'm reminded because I just edited Wanda. So.
I was gonna say good memory, but then I realized you're just editing. Yeah, so we have that happening, and yeah, now it's just Agatha and Billy on the road off to the next trial.
Yes,
and Agatha knows who Billy is, and the sigil is off Billy. Jen and Lilia are
dead. I don't think they're dead.
Yeah.
They're not dead. Maybe they are. I don't think they are. They could be. The show could just be like, nah, we're done with you.
Honestly, from this point,
but
there's a lot of directions we could go.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
My primary concern is Rio. Where's she go?
I think that's a good
Does she get a
concern.
trial?
Does she get a trial?
Also, the Salem 7 are still out there.
Yep. Yep.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
So is that going to be a thing when the episode starts again? Because they're safe during a trial, but not on the road.
But not on the road. That's right.
So what's up with that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then redemption arc for Agatha, obviously.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. This episode is episode 7, Death's Hand in Mine. I am tempted to give you some primer for this episode, but I think I'm not going to.
Oh, but I'm so curious now. You know I love spoilers.
Here's what I can tell you. This will give a little bit away, maybe. This episode 7, is rated a 9 out of 10
Ooh.
on IMDb. It is the highest rated episode of the season.
Okay.
And I think you're going to see why.
Do we get more of Agatha's backstory? Oh my god, we're getting Agatha's backstory.
I'm not going to say
What's the
anything.
episode name again?
Death's Hand in Mine.
I mean, who seems to siphon out people's lives with their hand?
Well, that's
it's always
true.
killing people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Her backstory, I think it's time. I think it's time we
Okay.
learn more.
Okay. You don't think they're going to save that for the end?
I mean, yeah, but like breadcrumbs, right?
Sure. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I think... Oh, I don't... Maybe I should tell you.
How many episodes are there?
There's 3 left. 7, 8, and 9.
I don't know, Wanda. We got Wanda's like backstory the second to last episode. So
True. It was the therapy episode.
I think it's time. I think
it's
it's time we start cracking Agatha open like an egg.
Okay.
Because it's Easter after all. So
Crack that bitch open. Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I think if that's all you got prediction wise, let's jump into
let's
it.
go watch an episode.
And we'll be right back.
I've already started.
Okay.
Because we got to get into it.
We do. I need to look up the transcript. But needless to say, it wasn't Agatha's backstory.
It was not.
It was not.
It was Lilia's.
Yeah. So general thoughts while I find this transcript.
I adored it.
Yeah, right?
I absolutely adored that episode.
Fantastic.
That was great. This is fun. This is 2 episodes in a row with concepts that really intrigue me. Because the first one is the whole idea of like reincarnation and like, you know, people being able to jump bodies, like souls being able to jump. Like that is so fascinating to me.
Yep.
And then I've always held on to the belief that we people are limited in how we perceive time just by our biology.
Yeah.
And that time is not what we think it is.
Right.
And I love anything that plays around with the concept of time.
Very timey-wimey this episode.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it so much.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked it.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
great.
you can see why I got the 9. The 9 out
I
of
totally
10
get it.
rating. Yeah. I would safe to say this episode was very well received.
Yeah.
And
Beautifully done.
I mean, what an absolute maze of an like think about trying to write this.
Yeah.
Like absolute insanity. Yeah, a kind of a very unique take on a time travel concept, I would say.
Yeah, and also like I don't know, like there's so many themes baked within this too, of like one, accepting your fate, but also like you could read this from like even like a disability perspective of like someone who's always been hindered by this and like coming to a point where she's accepted what it is, and she doesn't have control over it and it doesn't always work out, but she's learning how to finally embrace.
That's an interesting take. I also thought of like a identity acceptance as well in there somewhere, like when she talks about like, oh, they stopped because I wanted it to. Like I suppressed, this whole part of myself that I didn't want, like that was negatively affecting my life. So, there's probably a homosexuality illusion in there. There's probably a, it could be a number of things.
It's a deep emotional theme that I think would resonate with basically anyone.
Yeah.
Which is just that suppressing some aspect of yourself that doesn't fit with what's normal and doesn't work well within your life. So doing everything you can to avoid it. And then that journey to coming to peace with it.
Yeah, and it's interesting now that I'm thinking about it in terms of like the queer angle, because this show is very queer.
Oh yeah,
at least on the scale of Marvel properties. Definitely the most.
This is cool. I mean, like, there's been no gay kissing. They got close.
yeah, they got close. But it's very open about.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I take that
queerness.
Back, because didn't Teen and his boyfriend make out?
They did.
Yeah. Okay.
They did.
So we
They
got
did
some
kiss.
gay kisses.
Yeah. So that's interesting. And then, but then I think Lilia. I think Lilia is actually the token straight in this group. So it's interesting that she has this kind of.
I'm gonna claim her as the token ace.
The token ace. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, really, really fantastic episode. I'm excited to talk about it. So I mean, truly, it's gonna be fun because there's just so much packed into this thing.
I just also quick before we get into it too.
Yeah.
The fact that they made a main character's death feel not super tragic and sad, but like a completion of something. That's impressive. That is so impressive. Like, very impressive. I'm not sad that she's dead. Like, I am, but I'm not like, oh my god.
There's a bittersweet.
Like, it's not like Alice. It's the her time has come.
Totally. Yeah, like Alice, it was like her future was yanked away from her.
Yes.
But Lilia, it was like this is the culmination of her journey, and the fact that she had this real persistent fear of death following her around, personified by Miss Rio.
Found Rio.
We haven't even talked about that yet. But yeah, so she actually kind of came to a satisfying ending there.
Loved it. Let's get into it.
Amazing stuff. All right. So we do just real quick get our little recap here of all the kind of moments that we've been sprinkling throughout the previous episodes to get up to this, including some of Lilia's like little bops that she has.
The previously on made it abundantly clear it was Lilia's episode.
It was Lilia's episode. We are focusing on Lilia. And she also has this line, I just wanted to point this out, that she says, I was chased out of every village I passed through for accurately predicting tragedy. So that's part of the reason she's like completely suppressed this part of herself, was the whole witch persecution thing.
It's Bruno all over again.
So so we have that, and then she says in episode 2 or 3, when they're talking about like, okay, what is the road? Like, what are we going to face? And she says, tame your fears. That's what we're up against, our nightmares. So that very much proved to be true in her case, I think. Her worst fear was death, and she basically faced it in this episode and reckoned with it.
That's so fascinating that her gaining her power was her dying.
Yeah, but
then also the way that her life unfolds.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's so
well,
weird.
And she does master her power.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
By the end, she's like, I kind of said to you at one point when it transitioned from her and Jen being in the mud to her turning around, and on the turnaround, nice match cut.
Oh yeah, great editing.
Yeah, flipping into the tarot reading, and that's when she realized, oh, I'm the subject of the reading, not Teen. And at that point I said to you, oh, it seemed like she was a little bit more in control of that one.
Yes.
And before her teacher is saying, oh, it's not your job to control it, it's your job to see. But it does feel like she gained a little bit of control towards the end.
To me it's not so much control, it's like she's finally learned how to move with the water.
Right. Yes, that's a better description.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Not of just like not being so caught off guard.
Yeah.
By it all. Okay. Anything else I want to point out here?
Okay. Like even the way we're talking about this, we're jumping around a bunch.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that's leading into our episode. Then we open on Lilia falling into a black abyss.
Which, in her beautiful white gown, she looks like a princess. And I will say, my thought is like, why is your makeup so perfect? Mm-hmm. If you're about to die.
Also, why are you in a black void?
Yeah.
Where are we? What are we doing? What's happening? Her expression in this scene where she's falling is very fearful, I would say. She's terrified. She doesn't say anything. There's no context, nothing. We just see this shot of her face and then a shot of her falling.
It's the omen, I guess, of the episode. Right?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the way like her dress, like, I don't know, the way she's falling is very beautiful.
It reminds me of Princess Bride a little bit when she jumps out of the tower.
When she jumps out the window.
Floating to the ground.
It is kind of that vibes. But yeah, that's our opening, and we get like a slow fade and then a slow fade in to the road with Agatha and Teen. So yeah, and there's like some very ominous music happening. The music, I think, also goes off in this episode.
I trust you on that.
Yeah.
I was absorbed in the story.
It was a lot. There was a lot going on, but I do think the music, they stepped it up a bit with the music in this episode.
I do remember the leaves being yellow, at least on the road, which is kind of Lilia's color, right?
Right. Yeah, so that is our indication that it's...
Yeah, but
Lilia's
it is just
trial.
Teen and Agatha.
Just Teen and Agatha on the road. They're walking along, and then Agatha's saying you'll get a nosebleed trying that hard to read my mind, which I'm not sure where you are in the editing, but she says something similar to Wanda in episode 7 or 8 probably.
Oh, I think you're right.
Of like when Wanda tries to take control of her mind. She's like, my thoughts aren't available to you. Yep. Don't give yourself a migraine.
That did come up.
Yeah. So something a little similar there. And he says he's not, but she's like, sure, okay.
I immediately, when she said that, I immediately like look at his face like, is he straining? And
yeah.
He just looks pissy. But...
Yeah. So we don't know. We don't know if he's lying or not. But she's kind of always on the defense anyway. So doesn't really matter. Although I would assume she can sense if he's trying to.
Well, if she's doing legitimacy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, she says you can just ask me your questions like out loud, and he's like, okay, where's Rio? She's like, not that question. Which I think is a great answer.
Just like, come on, where is Rio?
I know, and that's totally for us. Of like, just put that to the side for now. Just chill. And then she's like, anything else? Like, that's the whole reason you're here, right? I'm your mom's ex best friend. Did you notice that like very long pause?
The way to me, I read it as like, I'm your mom's ex. Like she was gonna say like best friend. I'm your mom's best friend, and then she was like, ex.
Oh, really? Yeah. I thought it was meant to be. I was like,
reading heavy sarcasm.
I thought it was meant to be a joke on like she kind of had like the hots for Wanda in WandaVision, and she's like, your mom's ex best friend. So you could read it
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah. That might have been a joke for the fandom because people ship them. I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you could see it. And okay, and then he's like, yeah, but she's not my mom. I have a mom.
He's angry when he says that. Yeah. You kind of hinted at this.
I did. I gave it away a little bit.
It a bit.
I gave it away.
He is mad at Wanda.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh.
Well, okay. From what he does know is Wanda basically just killed him.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting of like the question is how much does he know? Because at this point Wanda obviously, took down her version of Westview.
Didn't Agatha antagonize him though a little bit too, where she was like, your mom chose a town full of strangers over flesh and blood?
Yeah, in the last episode.
Yeah, but that's not enough for someone to be like, I'm going to do a whole 360 and hate her.
Well, the other thing about Wanda though is at this point she was in the next Doctor Strange movie, Multiverse of Madness, and she was the villain.
So would he know about that?
That's what I don't know. Okay. I don't know how much, because a lot of crazy shit happened in that movie, and I don't know how much of it is like, public knowledge in the Marvel universe.
Right, because like what happened in WandaVision was like Avengers training exercise.
Right, exactly.
Like, there's clearly cover-ups.
Exactly. And a lot of the nefarious stuff that Wanda did in that movie was either like way the hell in the middle of nowhere, or in like the multiverse, like in other parts of the universe, not even on Earth. So it's unclear if anyone knows anything beyond the fact that she's dead. But yeah, we don't know.
For whatever reason.
But he's pissed off at
her. Yeah. I mean, it's probably just a reminder too of his identity crisis.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, and like, if we just kind of dial it way back, like being abandoned by a parent, basically.
Yeah. And like him being in his most frightened, vulnerable place in his life, who was there for him, the mom he currently has.
Right.
Yeah.
William's mom. Yeah. Okay, and then he says, "Is Wanda Maximoff really dead?" To which Agatha replies, "Yes. No. Maybe."
That is such a Marvel answer.
Such a tease.
Oh my god.
Such a
It's
tease.
literally just the definition of Marvel right there.
Like, cue all of us on our couches like, ah, got us.
But to me, I'm just like, come on, just commit to something. God damn it.
Yes, no, maybe. Did you see a body? Yes, I did. Did anybody else?
Good question.
It's hard to say. And he just kind of looks at her, and this is where she says, "Hey, you want straight answers? Ask a straight lady," which is an iconic line. They pull up to this castle.
Yeah.
Just very
We get a wide shot of
looking.
it in the distance.
Nice wide shot of their backs looking at it in the distance.
Spooky castle on a hill.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah, very like old school, old world, but also like classic witchery Disney kind of in a way.
Like very Grimm's brother Disney.
Yeah, that too.
Witchy.
That too, yeah. And Agatha just says, "The road is a fickle mistress." And he's like, "More vague insight. Thank you."
I love how done with her bullshit he
He's
is.
so over it.
I'm like, about time. Someone's just like, I'm just going to call you out.
Yeah. And she kind of tries to backtrack. She's like, "Well, in my experience, what I mean."
Ooh.
And then this is where he like kind of directly calls her out. Like,
Yes.
in your experience, like I honestly believed your experience would be the key to our success here.
Which, success.
Yeah.
We're alive.
We're alive, success. So that's, which I think is very telling. Like to Agatha, success means staying
She's
alive.
Alive.
Yeah.
She herself is alive.
Yeah.
Who
She
cares
says
about everybody
we're
else?
alive.
Yeah.
But yeah. But he just says, now I wonder if you've ever been on the road.
Boom. And that's where I'm like, ooh.
But then I told
tell
you.
her. You tell her.
Right. But then I told you, look at her face, though, after he says that. Did you pick up on anything there?
She had a lot of emotions, and I didn't care.
She had a lot of
like,
emotions
You're
real
being called
fast.
out on the spot, bitch.
Yeah. She had a lot of emotions real fast. Whether she's lying or not, to me, that read as hurt of
Yes.
being accused of lying about this, which is not an emotion we see on her face very often.
Although has she ever claimed herself that she has been on the road? No, she has. Has she?
That's actually a good question.
Because she does make comments of like when on the road. Like she's never
said when I was on the road.
Yeah, everyone else has
happened.
always put, again, this is the whole narrative of Agatha is people telling Agatha what her narrative is. I don't think she's ever explicitly stated, I was on the road. That's always
interesting.
Just makes vague comments that kind of allude to it. And
That make it seem like she knows what she's talking
exactly.
about. Yeah.
But she could easily, there's never committed. She's never said it.
Right. Interesting. That plays into another line later that I'm going to get to. Okay. So they get to the castle. They open the doors. And what happens, Gibbs?
Ooh! Woohoo! She becomes the Wicked Witch of the West.
She does indeed.
Very appropriate.
Yeah.
And Teen becomes Maleficent, and he is serving. He
Big
looks
time.
great.
Yeah. He looks great.
And then what does he say about the cheekbones? Like, if the cheekbones fit,
The cheekbones fit.
must have quit. He looks great.
Yeah, so they're both in costume. Very classic witch situation going on here. Classic pop culture witch, I should say.
Yes.
Which is, what we're playing into at the moment. And Agatha says, Catherine Hahn, as per usual, does some like witchy movements with her hands.
Doing all sorts of fun poses, arching her back.
Like for like really just posing.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, she's based on me, the Wicked Witch of the West. And he just says, prove it. And we get another, which is crazy. And we get another real quick shot to her, though, of, again, that kind of like hurt expression on her face. And then she just says, oh, well, you seem pleased with your look, if the cheekbones fit. And this is where we kind of figure out what the trial is. So there's a table in the middle of the room. On the edge of the table, it says, your path winds out of time, which one of them reads. I'm not sure which one. And Teen sees that there's a tarot deck on the table. And He says, I'll read for you, I guess. And they start drawing cards, and he draws the chariot and calls it the horse-drawn carriage.
It's called the chariot.
The chariot.
The name is on the card.
And he's like, okay, so you're obviously... So I think this is really interesting, this like fake reading that they're doing here, because I think there's still some truth to it.
Yeah.
So he says, so obviously you're leaving somewhere behind, and you have these sphinxes with you, and they represent your mysteriousness. And she's like, oh, you have a real gift.
Have I ever done tea leaf readings for you?
No.
This is how I read tea leaves.
You read tea leaves at all?
Occasionally.
This is news to me.
If I am served loose leaf with not enough filter, yeah, then I'll read the tea leaves.
What do you look for in the tea leaves?
Symbols.
Such as?
It depends. Like, you gotta let your mind kind of open up and flow, and then you gotta see what you see, right? So
okay, so there's not like a book of symbols that you're referencing.
I mean, to
Harry
be honest,
Potter style.
I end up looking up what the symbols are, but I let myself see what the symbols are first and where they're positioned on the cup, and rotate things around in order to see what I see, and then I look up the different symbols, and then I kind of do that. I like kind of make up a narrative to go along with it.
Okay.
But yeah, I did a tea leaf reading for this guy that I had just met when we were at a festival. We went and got lunch somewhere, and we had tea. So I did his reading, and afterwards he's like, "That's creepy." And
what?
I was like, boom. But it's one of those things.
Like, did you call out stuff in his life?
Well, there was specifically, I remember he had a dog in his.
Okay.
And I was like, so you're a protector type. Like, you feel like, very responsible for making sure the people around you are safe, especially your family. And like, you have someone important in your life that you're really looking out for. And I didn't know this. He had just had a daughter at that. Like, just recently had a daughter.
Oh my God.
He was like, that's creepy.
Wow, look at you.
But I think it's one of those things where if you're broad enough, if you paint with a wide enough stroke, people can interpret it.
That's pretty
That's
pretty spot on.
There's been a few times I've like been pretty spot on with.
I was gonna say, give me another one.
I know I've read my mom. She didn't have tea though, so I don't know how that's true. So it can't have been her. There was someone else's tea leaves that I read though, and like it was scary accurate. That like I feel like something even came true. Like I predicted something and something came true.
Oh my God, I love this for
the
you.
Exact circumstance though.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't do it often because I have such a hot streak that I don't want to ruin it.
You're like, I don't want to be wrong.
That's why I've only played Wordle like 2 times because I got it right in the second guess each time. I'm like, I can't break that streak.
You're either like all in on the streak, or not.
Get it right once and never again.
Oh man,
then
no, you will definitely have
that
to.
I'm a perfect insert here.
Sure.
Yeah.
You'll definitely have to read my tea leaves at some point.
Well, we have to get high tea at some point.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay, we'll get tea and I'll read your tea leaves.
Okay, you heard it here, folks. It's happening.
Anyway, the point is, if you open up your mind to it and you put some interpretation on it, you can actually kind of get some insight on stuff.
Oh, for sure. That's how tarot works,
which
too.
is what Teen is trying to do.
Right.
So even though he's a bad tarot reader, he's not off.
Yeah, he's not completely off base. So, okay, and I think, he puts it down, and this is when our first sword drops from the ceiling.
Yes.
What were your thoughts when the sword dropped from the ceiling? Ooh. Yeah, for sure. I remember when I first saw this, I was like, yes. Yes, correct. Yes.
We have to have an element of danger.
Yeah. So good. Okay, so then he picks another one. It's the 7 of Swords. She says, at least you're on theme. And this one is about deception and betrayal. And she says, check.
Yep.
But it's reversed. So that means the opposite. You're being truthful? Well, that can't be right. And she doesn't say anything. She just kind of looks at him. And he says, well, that can't be right. And puts it down.
What Agatha reminds me of? Since she's being truthful. She's not lying. According to Teen. Which I believe to be true.
Yep.
Reminds me of the Aes Sedai who can't lie, but they're really good at twisting words.
Oh, the Aes Sedai. Yeah.
That's how I see Agatha. I don't think she's deceitful without lying.
They're all witches. Just basically.
Connecting the dots.
You're not wrong. Ooh, what Wheel of Time Aes Sedai color would Agatha be? I don't know if there's a purple in the Wheel of Time.
She can just be her own
yeah,
brand
I don't know.
Aes Sedai.
I have a feeling she would be a red, actually. Whatever. Anyway,
evil? Don't they hate men?
Yeah. Well, I guess she doesn't overly hate men. I don't know. I have to think about that one some more. Maybe she'd be blue. Okay, so let's see. You're being truthful. That can't be right. Okay. And she says, all right, my turn. Tarot is a con, like any other. There's no magic to it. There's no skill. This is Agatha's perspective. So, and he says that's not true. It's about intuition, knowing which card to pull, basically what we were just talking about, and it's about interpretation. And she's just like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, just starts throwing cards down on the table. Swords are dropping like flies, and a sword drops down where Teen is sitting. He manages to dive out of the way just in time. And he's like, this is going great. And she just says, it's a numbers game. We keep going at it until we get the cards in the right spots.
You know,
or the ceiling runs out of swords.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Although I don't think the ceiling, it seems like every time they show a shot of the ceiling again, the same number of swords are there.
True.
There's not a single sword that's missing.
They keep magically replenishing their swords.
So I don't think you're going to run out of swords, but she's not wrong. I would be like the same. I'd be like, all right, let's just approach this methodically. There's only 1 billion combinations.
Right. Yeah, she's trying to go for like a hard logic route, I guess, but also the cynical route, which is
totally in line with her.
Very Agatha.
And how she like, because she's very much by the rules when it comes to magic. Because that was her whole thing with Wanda.
True.
Like, you haven't studied? You don't know about runes?
It's apparently, I feel like we're getting some insight about what Agatha thinks is like valid, correct magic and what is not. And clearly tarot does not fall under that category for her.
It's kind of like, I'm sorry, I'm throwing out all sorts of references today.
Please.
It's like how McGonagall feels towards divination.
Sure. Yeah. Same thing in Harry Potter world is there's some types of magic that are not as respected as others.
Hard magic, soft magic. There's two types of magic systems.
Yeah.
And it seems like Agatha really only subscribes to hard magic.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. And then Teen's like, that's not going to work. It's going to take forever. I wish Lilia was here. Hard cut.
Yep.
To the woman herself. We open on her. I think it's like again like a close shot of her face.
Oh, she's like gassed, doesn't she?
Yeah, similar to what we initially saw of her in the opening shot. And she says, I was falling. And then we turn to Jen. Jen's there. Yeah, we both were. They're both like covered in dirt, walking in this like tunnel
with like the weird veiny vines that kind of run throughout the witch's road.
Throughout the road, and they're yellow. So, Jen says, yes, we both were. Lilia asks, where are we? And she's like, you said we had followed this tunnel and looked for shelving. And she's like, what? I don't know what that means.
That is so random.
Yeah. Neither do I, but I listened to you. And she's like, where's Agatha? Where's Rio? Teen kicked us off the road. And then Jen says, the son of the Scarlet Witch kicked us off the road. What? The son of the Scarlet Witch kicked us off the road? How do you know? And then Lilia's like, oh, I told you. Jen's like, yeah. We're filthy. Jen's like, yeah, we had a very grounding heart-to-heart conversation, though.
Yeah.
Which we see at the end of the episode. And she's like, really? Us? And then Jen's like,
Jen's hurt.
Rude. 5 minutes ago, Lilia would have never said that. Okay.
Lilia comes very far in 5 minutes, doesn't she?
Yeah. And then now we're getting into it. Jen says, you said this might happen, but you're being extra wispy. Wispy? Kooky.
Which is it? Am I wispy or am I kooky?
Yes, we're back in episode 4 in Alice's trial. This is where Lilia is talking to Alice. Alice is like a bit of both, if I'm honest. So we're getting Lilia's perspective of this scene now. And then Alice, don't try to save Agatha. Hard cuts to the scene in episode 3.
Yep.
Where Lilia just burst out in the middle of her.
Try to save Agatha.
Yeah, Agatha.
I love this plan.
Yeah, I love it. Right, exactly. But then cuts again. So now we know the full sentence was, Alice, don't try to save Agatha. And then we cut again to Lilia sitting with her teacher back in, 16th, 15th century Italy?
Yeah.
Sicily. And her teacher, her maestra, says, oh, you're visiting. How long has it been? And we get this nice cut where they're showing her the young version of her, right?
And then it like, doesn't it pan?
It pans.
Past and it's...
Pans to her teacher, pans back to older Lilia. Yeah, present day Lilia. And she says it's been centuries. We're having a lesson, your first lesson, tea leaves. She says, oh, I was bad at tea leaves.
No, you weren't. You just lied and said you were, or something like that. That was her response.
Her teacher says, this is a fiction you've told yourself and tell yourself still. Lilia says, because it's true. Her teacher says, the easy road.
Yeah.
Which I chuckled at. What do you see, Lilia? And then she cuts again. Oh, this is the transition through the teacup, which is awesome.
It goes down into the dirty tea leaves and then dirty ground and fade to the tunnel.
Really cool
transition. Lots of great editing in this episode.
Yeah, really excellent. Really excellent. Which I feel like for this kind of episode especially, it's gotta be.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta be top notch. Otherwise, it's just gonna look messy. So, props. Okay, back with Jen in the tunnels. Jen's like, you're confused. It's okay. She's like, I'm not confused. Jen says, don't worry. I haven't heard them since the subway station. Talking about the Salem 7.
Yep.
And this is where Lilia kind of loses it a little bit. She's like, you think I'm baddie. You think I'm some doddering old broad. And this is where Jen's like, well, tell me what I should see. And at first it's kind of like a little... Maybe not the nicest way she could have said that.
No.
But then she says, no, I mean it. Like,
right.
Tell me what's going on with you.
Jen is very abrasive. Not because she's mean. She's just, it's just how she speaks.
Yeah.
No, it is, Lilia, it is so telling how defensive she just immediately gets. Because that's probably how she just sees herself. Yeah. Because none of this is in her control.
Yeah. Well, and like... presumably people have been judging her for this for her whole life.
And I mean, you gotta feel like you're insane.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Totally. Oh my God. Okay, so Lilia starts to explain there's these gaps, the flow of time is an illusion. Most people don't realize that. When I was a child, I experienced my life out of sequence. I would get these flashes and now it's happening again and it's getting worse. And Jen's like, well, that sounds terrifying. Why is it getting worse? Maybe because I'm close to the end. And I think this is interesting that Jen immediately says, oh, the end of the road? Like you're getting your power back?
No.
Like Jen immediately wants to assume that something good is happening.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Is so interesting because given Lilia's terror and frustration, it's so obvious that she's talking about the end of her life.
Yeah. And Lilia's like, I'm not so sure I want it back. And then we transition into her and everyone in the trial. In their various outfits.
She's on the ground screaming and Agatha's on top
Agatha's on top of her because she just pushed her out of the way of a sword. But we don't know that yet. And she's like, what are you doing? And I think this line from Agatha, did you not see imminent impalement in your future? And Lilia just kind of pushes her away, and then Agatha's like, I'm trying to help you, and Lily's just like, yeah.
God, that's gotta be so weirdly frustrating. Just be like one moment to the next, living a different scene of your life, and just having to be like, I know what's happening, even though you don't.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, a lot of confusion. Also, another little backdoor characterization of Agatha here. Mm-hmm. Of I just saved your life and I'm trying to help you, but Lilia's like, no, get off of me, go away.
Poor Agatha.
Shut up.
Everyone writes her narrative for her.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. And then she gets up, she sees Teen and pushes him against the wall 'cause she's pissed at him. Yep. And he's like, I thought we were cool. And she says, we're not cool, teenager.
Oh, she used his full name.
That's one of the great jokes of this episode. And Teen's like, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have lashed out at you. I wasn't hiding my power from you. I didn't know that I could. And there's he's pausing in between here and there, and she's just looking at him. Mm-hmm. And then you realize at this point,
oh, he's just reading her mind.
He's reading her mind
and responding to her thoughts.
Yeah. I'm not lying to you. Yes, if I had have known, I would have saved Alice. And that's where she's like, you're reading my mind, only because it's so loud. No offense. So that's interesting that I guess not all witches learn how to protect their thoughts.
I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a super common ability to be able to
apparently not
telepathically know other people's thoughts and feelings.
That's true, I guess. That's true. We just happen to have seen 2 of them.
It does seem like Agatha is incredibly well studied. in a lot of fields of witchcraft. So
yeah. And as I mentioned in one of the WandaVision episodes that I listened to recently that we just put out, Agatha's very good at covering her ass. So of course she would learn how to protect her thoughts and like make sure no one has access to her mind. Okay, so Lilia says she remembers teen, she remembers his bar mitzvah, and Jen comes over and is like, take it easy. Jen, aren't you furious? I mean, always. But collectively, we've moved on. Jen's got some good lines in this episode.
She really does.
Yeah.
I was kind of over her, and she's winning me back this episode.
Totally. No, this is almost a redemption episode for her too, in terms of like, she is Lilia's number one fan in this episode, I think. Yeah. And but they do a good job with it, where like she does go on a journey to get there, but by the end of the episode, they're like actually kind of friends. Okay, so yeah, Jen's like, the flow of time is an illusion, so trust me when I say you're not mad at the kid anymore. This is where we get a little bit of the costume commentary. What are you wearing? I don't want to talk about it.
What is she wearing?
What am I wearing? So I think Jen is supposed to be the evil crone witch from Snow White.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so that's who she is. Agatha is the Wicked Witch of the West, Billy is Maleficent, and Lilia is Glinda. So Lilia is the only quote-unquote good witch in this ensemble, which is interesting.
But depending on whose perspective.
Right, exactly. Okay, so focus up, Calderoo. We can be culturally offended later. She was doing a tarot reading. What went wrong? Teen's like, I don't know, but I'm glad you're here now because now you need me. And ain't that just like a witch? Yeah, which I think is interesting as well. Witches are self-serving.
Seems like it.
Primarily in this world.
At least within the coven experiences that these outcasts have had.
True. Very true. Yeah, this is where Lilia says, like, she casted the sigil on Billy / William. You know, I saw who you would become that night. Or I saw who you were and who you would become. At this point, we do another little cut to Agatha, who's just like, she's like doing the hat thing,
she's playing with
like
the
tilting
hat
with her hat, and just kind of like throws a side glance over at Teen. Okay, more swords fall from the ceiling because they're all taking way too much time to do this.
The ceiling is also slowly descending.
It's not yet, but it will in a minute.
It's done it a few times though, where it started to descend.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, and then this is where we get some more flashes. So Lilia's like, "What did I do wrong?" And then we flash to her in Agatha's trial when she's like, "Make it stop! Like I hated this the first time." Yep. Lilia's being weird again. And then we flash again. She's like screaming. And it's like the second episode, I think, when Agatha and Teen first come to meet her. And they're in her apartment. And she kind of turns around like to look at them over her shoulder. And he's like, "Are you all right, ma'am?" But then she's just like, stop. And then it cuts back to her with her teacher again. And her teacher just like, "Tell me about your life now. Are you rooted in nature? Not especially, no." So this is interesting because we get some witch rules, almost of like, these are things witches are supposed to be. Are you rooted in nature? Not especially, no. Are you nimble with your craft? If I was, I wouldn't be here. Have you a coven? And she just kind of laughs. And her teacher says a witch requires a coven.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And Lilia is very jaded about this, and she says, "What for? It didn't work out for me the first time. It's not going well now. It's better to be a hermit, to be a fraud." And her teacher says, "So much fear." And this is where Lilia says, "Please just tell me how to control what's happening." But her teacher says, "Your task is not to control, it is to see."
So interesting. Just
tell me.
Well, just like thinking about witchcraft in general, especially like Agatha and what we know about Agatha, it's all about control. Oh. And it's all about mastery. Oh. And like, it's just so...
And that's why she completely disregards this form of magic, because there's no control.
It's not about control. It's about opening yourself up to what you need to hear.
Which Agatha's very bad at.
Control and learning how to accept. And yeah.
Good.
So I'm like, it's so counter to everything we've heard about witchcraft at this point, which is let go.
Yeah.
Let go and accept it.
Yeah. It's not your task. Your task is not to control, but to see. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it seems, at least from this teacher's perspective, like witches need community.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
And again, you know, we have our band of outcasts here who have not had.
Well, it's all about, I mean, like, broad social commentary of like, yeah, we all need each other, like strengths and weaknesses that we all have that balance out. But then also, if you have a coven, like them bringing out the best of you as a person and you and your power.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, when your power is needed, which is going to be within a coven, and then you feel needed and wanted and part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a broader social.
Yeah. Well, and all of them, you know, all of our loners here, they're not like living their best lives alone.
God, no.
Not even by a long shot. So I just find it very interesting phrasing, like a witch requires a coven. Like, it is a need.
I also think it's a comment about like female relationships in general.
Totally.
I know we got a guy in the mix, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
The importance of, I think personally, female community.
Yeah, and like, yeah, women you can rely on. Yeah.
Especially in a patriarchal society, and in the case of witches, in a anti-witch society.
Right, actively, what's the word I'm looking for? Actively hunting them.
Persecution,
yeah. Okay, so Lilia flashes back to being in the tunnels with Jen. She's like, I hope I would get to skip this part entirely. Which is like, I guess, potentially the upside of
does she actually get to skip?
Like, does she get to skip like some bad stuff? And Jen's like, well, did you get any new intel? I know what the next trial is. It's tarot. Well, why didn't you say that? Because you're the one who told me. Okay, and this is where we get the part where she says, this used to happen to you when you were younger. Why did it stop? Because I wanted it to. I ignored it. I put it away. Why? Because all I saw was death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was she able to do that?
Yeah, that's like we don't get those details.
How do you will it away? But I mean, that's it. It's just suppressing your magic.
Well, and we know, like, she thinks that she's on the road looking for her power.
Yeah.
But she's really just suppressed it for so long.
Yep.
That she doesn't even know.
Too, whenever she does have the outburst and people are like, where do you go? Like, what? Why are you being weird? She's just she never addresses that. So even if like she's put it away, how much has she actually put it away? Does she just ignore it?
Right.
Like,
or
does
is
it
she
still
just
happen and she's just like, huh?
Not even
what?
realizing. Yeah, almost. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. And then they hear Billy and Agatha arguing, and oh my gosh, they find the shelving, the back of this bookshelf. And then we hear once again Billy say, I wish Lilia was here. And then they tumble through the bookshelf in their respective costumes. And Billy's like, whoa, you're alive. And then he kind of like gets scared for a second. And she's like, relax, we're cool. Because they've already had this whole thing.
She's already had her outburst.
She's already had her outburst. They have yet to see it. But that's where we're at. And he's like, whoa, we are. This is where Agatha says, hey, things are looking up. They all look at the ceiling of swords, and Jen's like, oh my God. Good stuff. And then, okay. Task is to see. She says, who massacred the spread? He did. She did. Immediately pointing fingers at the other. We get the queerant joke here. Good for a chuckle. Not much else. Okay, so she's going to read Teen's cards. And he has to ask a question, and Agatha's like, how do we get out of here? Teen must ask her how we're getting out of here. It must be vital to his journey on Earth. I'd say it's pretty vital. Like, girl, shut up.
Agatha doesn't have a lot of lines in this episode, but
the ones that she does.
At least this is good.
The conversation in the beginning that they have, she has a good amount.
Yeah.
But okay.
But it's Lilia's episode.
It's Lilia's
episode. Get out of the way,
yeah.
Agatha. Stop chewing the scenery.
Right. We are.
Get it. You're Catherine Hahn.
We are fully in Lilia territory now. Okay. He must ask a question. What does it matter? Tarot takes time and care and leads to large gaping wounds.
Oh, they're all arguing. And the ceiling's starting to fall. And
what does he ask?
Am I Billy or am I William?
Yeah. And then everything stops.
That just comes from his soul.
Yeah. That I think that's how
I don't
it really
even think he knew he was going to ask that.
I agree. It just kind of came out. And yep, that's a very good question. Jen says, see, Lilia knows what she's doing. Again, Jen is on Team Lilia this episode. Okay, and then we get the little explanation of this spread. So this is the safe passage spread. Interesting, considering we're on a road.
Yep. Because there are different spreads in tarot, right? There's different ways to do readings.
Yeah. There's exactly different like patterns or different like types of readings, depending on what you want to know.
It's like and it's not just like how you draw the cards, how you lay them too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of the ones I watch a lot of tarot on YouTube. A lot of the ones I watch aren't readings like this, where it's like in a certain like layout. It's more of just like consecutive, like left to right kind of thing. And then like based on how the cards are ordered, you can like create meaning from that. Okay. Like reading a book, but this is a little different. So she says this is a safe passage spread. The first card is you, the traveler. Next comes what's missing, the reason for your quest, the path behind, the wounds suffered and lessons learned, the path ahead, the space for growth and discovery, and you will face obstacles preceding a potential windfall. You must overcome all to reach your destination. Everybody's quiet.
Was that 6 cards?
That is, well, there's 1 card per, we find out later, there's 1 card per coven member. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You're right. Because Rio is technically, not technically one of the coven members.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
So yes, no snide remarks. Nobody has any commentary at this point.
No, she's efficient. She's like, I know my business.
She's like, she's in her bag now.
She's got it.
She's on a roll. So she says, focus on your question, pick a card. He picks card. You are the magician. Which, by the way, if you know anything about tarot, all of this is crazy. It's really good. You're the magician. You have enormous potential, the ability to turn all of your goals into reality. Very fitting, she says. Yeah, the magician is like the ultimate manifester of the deck. She basically explains it, but that's also how I've heard it explained. So interesting. The teen is the magician. Makes sense considering his power set.
Yep, yeah. Yeah. And considering that his mother was able to make realities.
True.
You know, it would imply that he might have that ability.
Yeah. Okay, very fitting. But another sword drops from the ceiling.
Yeah, they're doing it wrong.
Something's going on. But she moves on. Choose your next card. What's missing? She pulls the sun. Good fortune, joy, reunion. And he's like, reunion? But
Tommy, that's his name, right?
Yeah. Cool. Another sword falls. And Agatha at this point is like, how are we supposed to get it right when tarot is completely subjective?
Yeah, there she is calling bullshit on tarot again.
Exactly. And to your point, no control.
Yep.
No control. She has absolutely zero control in this situation. Until the very end, which I'll talk about later. Okay, pick again, the path behind. And then this is where another sword falls, and then we transition. So this is the part where Agatha had tackled her to the floor to get her out of the way.
On her. Okay.
So, but we transition, and we see her screaming, saying, "Get off me!" which is a clip from episode 2 when they're in the circle and they're about to sing the ballad.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then it goes to another clip from when they're sitting around the campfire, and she goes, we really all hated each other in the beginning. ... Cut again from episode 3 with
her face all puffed
the terrible Botox. I love you guys. And then back to her again sitting with her teacher. These cuts are like a revolving. It feels like a revolving door or something. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I think they've cut it slightly differently every time.
Like every time these little flashes happen?
I think so.
I didn't pay close enough attention.
Yeah. I would need to check again. But, I mean, they've kept it interesting for sure. But like I was saying before, still very like cohesive. Mm-hmm. Not jarring. Okay. So her teacher is like, what are you missing? Why are you on this journey? And she says, I didn't want to come. Then why did you to get my power back? Is it gone? Where'd it go? This is not the true reason. I love her teacher.
Her teacher's great.
Sicilian accent on full. Oh, and this this is maybe one of my favorite lines of the show. I'm a forgotten woman, then remember yourself.
Yeah. 2 great lines. I want to get my power back. Is it gone?
Where did it go?
I am a forgotten woman. Remember yourself. Like, you don't need someone else to remember.
Right.
Like,
then remember yourself.
It's all within you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's, I don't know if that's up there with they can take your power, but they can't take your knowledge, but it's close.
Personally, I like it better.
This one?
The lines from the Sicilian teacher hit harder for me.
True. That's true. It's about the delivery. Okay. So she says, though, what's worth remembering? That you died, that I saw it coming, our entire coven wiped out by a fever. I saw it, I told you, but it didn't change anything. So this is what we saw in her trauma flashback in episode 3.
Yeah.
When she saw the death specter.
Everyone's dead.
And we saw her teacher in that shot too, but her teacher looked very corpse-like. And yeah, and that's when she said in Sicilian, they're all dead. And Agatha was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. But her teacher says, death comes for us all.
You say that like it's a comfort.
Yeah, you say that like it's a comfort. Lilia also repeated that line after after Agatha's trial when Alice died.
She does say that?
Yeah, she comes out, like Agatha and Teen are having their little confrontation. Jen comes out and Teen's like, this is all about power for you. And Jen comes out and she's like, yeah, of course it is. That's what it's about for all of us. And then Lilia comes up behind her and says, death comes for us all.
Oh, she does.
Yeah, so it is a repeated line. But yeah, you say it like it's a comfort. And her teacher says, it's what we all have in common.
Mm-hmm.
When will it come from me? And then we have this, again, fun little edit. I was falling on the one side of her teacher's shoulder, looking over her shoulder at Lilia, transitioned, across her back to the other side. I will fall, Lilia says. So, again, just playing with that timey-wiminess.
I love it so much.
Yeah. And her teacher just says, yes, what will you do with your remaining time? And then...
Oh, sorry. I'm like, I love the play on words too, of the past tense and then the future tense. I was falling, I will fall.
Yeah.
And then couple that with the idea of death comes for us all. Right? Like, I was dying, I will die. Like, this is a circle of life.
Ooh.
Everything comes to its completion. And then that final point, what will you do with your remaining time? That is the question that we all have to ask ourselves every single day. And I love it.
It's very poignant.
I love it. And it's 3 lines. It's 3 lines that tell that whole circle story. Boom. Lesson.
Yeah.
I love it.
Solid writing.
Great writing.
Right there. Also, I just noticed something. Her teacher says, what will you do with your remaining time? This transition is like Lilia is looking at her and then she looks to the side, and that's how they cut. They cut and then they show her also looking to the side, but then looking down at Jen in the next scene. So that cut, and then the next one later where she does the spin move into the tarot reading, they're both motivated by her.
Yeah, which
her movement.
Her starting to get into the groove.
Channel
of it,
the power.
Yeah.
Yeah, channel her power and figure this thing out. So, okay. So now we're in the tunnel and Jen's on the ground. They're waking up, or Lilia's waking Jen up. And she's like, what happened? The son of the Scarlet Witch telepathically kicked us off the road because now she has all the information, right? We sank beneath the surface and now we're here. And poor Jen's like, I have a lot of questions. Same girl. Agatha's in the trial with Billy. Who's Billy? The son of the Scarlet Witch. Like, keep up. It's a divination trial. Tarot. We've got to find this bookshelf. I can see all the pieces falling into place. She's like getting excited now. She's like, the gaps are filling in. I'm telling you this now because I'm not going to remember any of this in a minute.
Yep. Yeah. Just a rapid, please.
and just like, okay. All right. Which way do we go?
Gosh. And that sense of panic of like, I am about to get ripped out of this moment.
Right. Oof. But I'm communicating everything that I need to tell you right now.
At least she's finally telling people, hey, this is what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're in like this, tunnel juncture, and they have 3 different paths they could go on. One of them is like an old subway station.
Yeah, like a New York subway station. It looks like there's an old train car.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this? Okay.
Just your classic train. I mean, like literally a train station is like the ultimate symbol of choosing your path on the journey. It's used in literature so much.
True. Yeah.
So, I mean, I just see it as that.
There was also a line in episode 2, a stray line from Mrs. Hart, who says something about like, oh, I used to be on the Westfield Historical Society, and there shouldn't be anything else down here except our failed public transport system. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's back.
Oh, that's funny.
So there's that. And then, but there's another path. But then they have to hide real quick because the Salem 7.
The ring wraiths are coming.
The ring wraiths are coming. And I love the way they're walking in this one.
Yeah, it's
It's very like rhythmic. And also whatever they're wearing.
Yeah, the type of veil they're wearing makes it look like they're leaning very far
back. And I was trying to figure out,
marching in 2 by 2. Ugh.
Yeah, it's spooky. I was trying to figure out, are they leaning really far back, or are they like leaning forward and walking backwards? Do you know what I mean? I guess that's part of the spookiness of it, is like you can't tell how they're positioned.
Maybe some are leaning really far
back, and some are walking backwards. Yeah. Who knows? Anyway, they walk by, and then they come out and say, Jen says, where are they going? But Lilia's like, we don't have to worry about them right now. So she's like, Lilia's totally in charge at this point. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take this path towards my trial. Agatha and Billy need my help. I hope you'll join me.
We don't have to worry about them right now. Does she already know?
She might.
We're not necessarily seeing her life in order.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Agatha and Billy need my help. I hope you'll join me. Jen says, why? Because you are my sister in the craft. Mm. And Jen takes a minute.
Grounded heart to heart.
Yep. Jen takes a minute to think about that. But then she nods and heads off into the tunnel. This is the point where Lilia says, I know what I did wrong. And then she turns, and then match cuts on her turn into the tarot reading in the trial. So then she says, my path winds out of time, which is what was written on the table. She was reading for the wrong person. She is the traveler. So she starts reading, and she does like a good, like, she like pulls up the chair and like stacks the cards and like, okay, let's go. And she pulls the Queen of Cups. Also, here as well, the music starts going off. It's real good.
Just like getting
like,
really epic.
Yeah.
And like the sense of urgency has been slowly ticking up, which is how all these trials are, right? Because they have a time limit. But like the ceiling's starting to fall, right?
Starting to slowly drop down.
And
yep.
Everyone else in this trial is freaking the fuck out, and Lilia's just like, I will not be rushed.
Yeah. True facts. Well, and she's the only one who can do anything. Yeah. In this trial, like they've had,
and she knows how this ends.
Yeah. So yeah, we could speculate that.
She's just like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, she's in control at this point, which, yeah, like her teacher said, it's not your job to be in control, but she is now. And she has complete command of the trial, of her own powers, her intuition. Yep. All the stuff. Okay, so she is the Queen of Cups. Empathetic, intuitive, inner voice to be trusted.
Yes. And nice. It is paired with an image of her as a child learning tea leaf reading.
Yes, and her costume, we also see her costume as the child is like basically a direct match to the Queen of Cups card.
Yellow dress, by the way.
Yeah. So we didn't know that before, but now that we're seeing the card, it's like, oh, she always was the Queen of Cups. Yay. So she puts on the card. No sword. But the ceiling is still coming down. So they're like, if she got the card right, why isn't the ceiling stopped? Doesn't matter. What's missing? 3 of Pentacles. Collaboration, community, singular voices waiting to harmonize. This is where we get the cut of her listing out all the names of the coven on her little list that she gives Agatha in episode 2.
Because the 3 of Pentacles or whatever was on the pad?
It was on... So Agatha had handed her eviction notice. Oh. And the logo of the company, of her, like, her landlord's company was, the 3 of Pentacles symbol. So she says, collaboration, community, singular voices waiting to harmonize. They literally sang the ballad to Summon the Road. I needed you, my coven. Again, calling back to witches require a coven. Mm-hmm. And she got one.
I'm going to interject again because I just had the thought of, I feel like there is a persistent belief amongst people, and there's an element of truth to this, that in order to be in a community, you do have to sacrifice your independence. And I think some people think that also means sacrificing your power and your strength.
Ooh.
When the reality is having a community makes you more powerful. Right? And so I'm kind of relating that to this lesson that she's, particularly for her, she's like, no, this is right? Because it's part of it was her teacher's like, you need a coven.
Yeah.
And her embracing that, and then also calling like Jen into it and like, to be a part of it. And so, yeah, anyway, I just had that
and
thought.
like the irony of that, of like, they're all looking for power. But if they would have had a community around them, they would have that power. Yeah. But they refuse.
Because like a lot of these trials isn't anything they weren't able to already achieve. It was just something they needed to like have others help them see.
Sure. Yeah.
Like Jen with her potions, the whole like they can take your magic, they can't take your knowledge. Yeah. Alice just like finally being like, hey, your mom loved you. Like, here's a song. Yeah. That proves it.
Yeah.
She's a bit tricky. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there for sure. Then we get the path behind, which is Alice, the Knight of Wands. Yeah. And we see that shot of her. So all these shots that we're seeing of the members of the coven, it's all from Lilia's perspective, right? Of like when she saw them and she, called out their tarot card in the previous episodes. So the Knight of Wands, she was looking at Alice. This was Alice fighting. And she says, full of fire, fights bravely. The path ahead, High Priestess, we see Jen.
Wait, the path behind is a lesson to learn, right?
The path behind, yes, I believe so. A lesson. So
what's the lesson to learn?
Well, Alice's death caused Teen to freaking blow up.
It's just that Teen is the Scarlet Witch's son?
Well, I think for him, the lesson is, you got a shit ton of power, dude. You better figure out your shit.
Yeah. But what's the lesson for the coven?
Protect each other better.
Kind of.
Work together more. Don't betray each other and try to leave each other behind, which is what they wanted to do to Agatha.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unity, coven unity, I think was the lesson. Okay, the path ahead is the High Priestess, which is Jen.
Dude, the shot of Jen with like the rays behind her.
Yeah, amazing.
Have we seen this shot in the show yet?
No, because it's from Lilia's perspective. So in episode 2, when she, we see Jen and Lilia talking in that scene, and we see Lilia say High Priestess, but we don't see the shot from her perspective.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a dead ringer for the High Priestess card. Yeah, with these like rays of light coming out from behind Jen's head.
And what's the High Priestess? I'm sorry.
She says immense spiritual power, unable or unwilling to use it. Ooh. So we know Jen's magic is bound still. Or at least that's her story. Yeah, unable or unwilling. That is interesting phrasing. Okay, and then obstacle, 3 of Swords.
Agatha.
This is Agatha. So we see Lilia's perspective of Agatha at the end of episode 4 when Billy/Teen is stabbed. And Agatha's freaking out, and it's like really cool. I thought this was really great how they did this, like the tree,
the branches of the tree behind her
in the shape of the swords. And she says heartbreak, sorrow, grief.
Yes.
Moving
and that's
on.
The obstacle.
She's the obstacle.
I don't think it's just Agatha though, right? The heartbreak, the grief, they all have an element of that in them.
True. But I think Agatha's is probably the strongest.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also think, like, for example, Alice dying and the grief of that, and how Teen split up the coven in response to his grief and anger.
True.
That's part of the obstacle.
Yeah, it's more than just Agatha, but Agatha in this case is representing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Representing that. Okay. And then the windfall. The tower reversed. This is Teen. Disaster, destruction, sudden upheaval, but reversed, it means miraculous transformation. And finally, the destination. And then we cut. And yeah, the swords are getting lower and lower. Everyone's like crouching down to avoid them. We cut. It's Lilia waking up on the floor of the tunnel, covered in mud. Jen's still passed out next to her.
Someone's walking towards her.
Yeah, and she's like, who is that? And
ominously, and then I was like, oh my God.
Miss Rio says, don't you recognize me, Lilia? And then, wait, what is this? Oh, we're cutting back and forth at this point. So then we cut back to everyone in the trial freaking out. Oh, and then I'm sorry. Then we do this like quick little montage of flashbacks. So
of Rio. So it's Rio climbing out of the ground.
Yeah. When they summoned her to the road, which by the way, what was the line she had? She was like, I was in the neighborhood.
Harvesting a body? Maybe?
Harvesting Mrs.
Mrs. Hart.
Mrs. Hart. Yep. Yeah, because she comes out of her grave.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get the cut of her saying, you get your power, I get my bodies. And then doing the Ouija board, who is here with us tonight, D-E-A-T-H. She just starts laughing.
Cackles.
Absolutely cackling. Which, by the way, if you go back to that actual episode and you watch that part, Agatha's sitting next to Rio. There is like a 3 like millisecond shot of Rio's like cackling and Agatha just just looking at her like this bitch. It's so good. Yeah, so we get all these flashbacks and all these little hints that we've had up till this point. And Rio says, in the end, all roads lead to me. And this is where Lilia realizes Rio is death. Give me your thoughts. You said, as we were watching, you said, oh, interesting.
I mean, death personified. I don't know.
First of all, I love a death personified. Do you?
I do, and I
love
don't.
A character named Death.
It totally depends on the situation. I love it here.
Yeah.
Who is it? Lindsay Ellis that has a really good video on death personified. I think it might be her.
Ooh, I don't know.
Which totally go check it out on her YouTube channel. Like shout out. That's
okay.
If it is her, it's a great video.
Good to know.
I don't know. It's just interesting. It's interesting.
Wildly.
That it makes sense that she's not a part of the coven.
She is, but she isn't, right?
She is, but she isn't. Yeah, that she's just kind of the oddball there. Obviously, in hindsight, like all of her lines and acting makes so much sense now.
Yep.
Including why she was always just so chill and like,
yeah, like, whoa, what's happening? What's going on, guys?
Is anyone gonna die?
Totally. Yep.
Like, yeah, that's just her vibe. So.
Yeah. And
oh yeah, and like the whole thing does Agatha like scold her as she's trying to come towards Teen after Teen gets stabbed? And she's just like,
right. So let's go back to this real quick while we're at it. Yeah, like they save Teen, right? Or no, they're about to save Teen.
Mm-hmm.
And Agatha just looks at her and says, don't. And she just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't say anything, but she's taken aback a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting too of just like, okay, what does this spell out then for the road? Does death await all of them on the road?
Right.
Or I don't know. Like, does Agatha, at least in that scene, she kind of had a command over death.
Well, right. And Agatha's known her for a long time.
Yeah.
So Agatha's been
dancing with death
dancing
for a while.
with death, baby. Yeah. 100%. Also, another line I just remembered is when they're in Alice's trial. I think it's Jen who says, "Oh, what does she say?" She says like she's psycho or something, and then Agatha says she's a tourist.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Right? That's some good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, there like if you go back and rewatch, there's so many little like allusions to it.
Yeah.
I'll also say at this point, this was who Rio was kind of an open secret as far as like, because it was publicized, unfortunately.
Oh, that she was death?
Yeah. Also, there is a Marvel version of Death, and that is technically who she's playing here. Oh. There's a Marvel personification of Death.
Okay.
I found this out after the show. Apparently, in the comics, Thanos is in love with Death, and she's called Lady Death in the comics.
Is that why he snaps everyone?
And he snaps half the universe to like pay tribute to her.
Woo!
And I was like, Yeah, and then there were, of course, lots of jokes made about, well, if death was Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, I get it.
I'd snap half the universe too, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so yes, in the end, all roads lead to me, is what she says. Mm-hmm. So we shall see if this road
totally explains why she's just been gone. My question is answered.
She pops in and out. Jack Schaefer talked about that too, of like, don't, like, when you have a character like that, they can't be around all the time.
Yeah.
Of like, they have to be a little bit more mysterious than that. And she said also something specifically about Aubrey Plaza, of like, when you have Aubrey Plaza, like, deploy her wisely. And I was like, you know what? I vibe with that.
Yeah,
totally.
She really is the perfect casting for that.
Fully. Oh, I'm sure it took her 0.5 seconds to sign on the dotted line for this role. Yeah, amazing. Okay, so Lilia realizes it. Oh, yeah, and then she says Rio is death. She's about to place the card down, but then Agatha
grabs it and places it for her.
Places it down. Thoughts on that?
Did Agatha seal her fate? Not her own fate. I mean Lilia's fate.
Agatha killing witches even when she's trying to save witches?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Interesting stuff is all I want to say. So Agatha puts the card down, and then the swords go back up the ceiling. Lilia, you did it. You saved us. What happened? But she's just like, Rio is death. And they're all like, what? And this is where she says the original Green Witch, which is awesome. They all look at Agatha and Dean's like,
I like a baddie.
Is it true? And she's like, what can I say? I like the bad boys. But then we hear some menacing whispers, and the seven are here.
I just had another thought, though.
Yep.
Another perfect parallel, and why Agatha might be attracted to death. Everyone fears death. Everyone hates death. Death is very misunderstood. And as we learned the lesson in this one, death is comforting because it unites all of us. It comes for us all.
Ooh.
Again, just saying.
Listen.
Might be why Agatha's like, hey, death, I resonate with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never thought about that, but totally. Another, misunderstood, powerful being, for sure.
I'm just saying, I see why they hit it off.
Yeah. Their freak matches each other's freak. Okay. So they're here. Lilia's like, quick, everyone in the Iron Maiden, which is the exit that has opened up in the wall. So they're all filing out. Agatha goes first. Lilia says, when she calls you a coward, hit the deck. And Agatha's like, what? But then she just kind of pushes her out the door. And then Teen goes, and she passes him his notebook, which he picked up off the floor.
How did you get this? Magic
with a CK in the subtitles, which I appreciate. I don't know why. It just is better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. He says thank you. And then it's Jen's turn. And she says, I'm not going before you.
You go first. Yeah.
Talk about it.
Jen has fully embraced the coven now.
Yeah. Full 180 from her.
It's not so, because in the scene with the kitchen and the flooding, wasn't she
her
just
trial.
Like, bye.
She was like, I'm out. Peace. Yeah, she's the first one out.
Yeah.
And I think and then in the next trial, in Alice's trial, she's also like trying to save her ass by staying in the circle. She's always like,
oh, that's right. That's
a little bit, I mean, similar to Agatha, like self-serving.
Yeah.
But now she says, I'm not going
She's
before
finally
you.
shutting that.
Because number one Lilia stan in this episode is Jen. Lilia just says, you're the path ahead, Jennifer. And pushes her out the door. And then...
Yeah, because it's interesting because Teen and Agatha are butting heads. Clearly there was no love lost between Jen and Agatha.
Yeah.
And now that Jen has embraced Coven.
Yeah.
Not the Coven, just Coven. Is she going to be
Lilia.
the one to like try to unite them all?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, is that why she's the leader? She's the one that learned the lesson.
Right, the path ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speculation for future episodes, of which we only have 2. But this is where Lilia pushes her out, and she's closing the doors, and she just says, I loved being a witch, and then closes the doors. No!
This whole episode too, she was like, I hate this. My life
Yeah.
sucks. Suppress it.
Yeah.
And then the truth comes out. No,
I loved being a witch.
It was an adventurous life and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, yeah, she definitely didn't feel that way
No.
a hot hour ago, but
Just
now here we are.
Yeah, and letting go.
Yeah.
Embracing acceptance.
Yep. Okay, and then she gets a little monologue here at the end. You may not know this about the road, but when you successfully complete a trial, like I just did, it's not a good idea to overstay your welcome.
And all these animals are crawling out of the bookcase or from wherever.
Yep, the 7 are infiltrating the trial. She says, usually something terrible happens, disaster, destruction, sudden upheaval, like the tower upright. And as they're all like contorting into their witchy...
God, the Coven, or the Salem 7 to me are so weird.
Yeah.
Because they are, but they're not people.
Right, they are, but they're not. Yeah.
And I don't...
They're kind of like zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a hive mind. And I'm like,
right.
What is the point of this other than to be like just disastrous? But like, I don't know. It feels weird to me on the show of like witch positivity to be like, but not these guys.
Well, I don't know if the show is about witch positivity though. I think it's about witch complexity.
Okay.
Yeah, there are I don't even know if we can say at this point that there are good witches. I guess Lilia is a good witch. But otherwise there are selfish witches, there are bad witches, there are powerful witches, there are greedy witches.
But then, okay, hold on. No. This is why it's not hitting, though. Because you say it's about witch complexity.
Yeah.
But, like, that's, like, just saying, like, about human complexity, right? And, like, how all these people are very complex and messy and, like, good, bad, doesn't matter. They're a mess. Except for this hive mind, who's just bad. Like, there's no complexity within the hive mind.
Well, we know their history. We know that they're the children of the witches that
Agatha
killed.
That's all we know. And then the way they behave is very just monster. Again, I get it.
Yeah.
We had to have a thing. I get it. But like, I'm just like, there's always something that's a little like, that doesn't hit thematically for me.
Sure.
And this is it, I guess. This is the hill I'm going to die.
Well, we're about to take them out. So here we go.
Yeah.
Disaster, destruction, sudden upheaval, like the tower upright. And she flips the card from the tower reversed, and the scene flips upside down. The tower flips.
So fun.
They're literally in a tower.
I want to know how they shot this.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I think there was some practical stuff involved.
Oh, there was. There was. Especially because, like, you can just watch the way the clothing moves. Like, you can't fake that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how did they do that? Did they just have them on harnesses and, like, spin them?
Yeah. We'll have to check some of the behind-the-scenes footage. But I think it was a spinning set.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's give a shout-out to, is it Backstreet Boys or NSYNC where they have the spinning set?
I don't remember.
Inception was not first.
Yeah, so they flip upside down. The Salem 7 start dropping to the floor, which was previously the ceiling, which is covered in swords. And as you said, that's a rough way to go.
That's a brutal way to go.
Yeah, it's actually one of the more brutal parts of the show.
Because, like, falling to your death is one of those things that, like, is genuinely a fear of mine. Because it's just the idea of impact is so terrifying to me. But then to also be stabbed first?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. And yeah, they fall and Lilia's hanging onto the table and she looks back and looks to her hand where she's holding on and lets go, or
loses her grip or whatever. It's ambiguous a little bit there.
And then we get the matching scene here to our intro of her falling, except this time
it's not a black void.
It's not a black void, and she's not afraid.
Nope.
She's
at peace.
Accepted her fate.
Yeah.
And we cut to black. Thank God.
Before she hits.
Thank God we don't see her stabbed. I was really thinking about that the first time I watched this. I was like, please cut. They did cut. They're not going to show us Patti LuPone being stabbed.
No.
through multiple times. So they cut. We go back to her childhood self with her master running up to this little platform area where they were sitting, and her teacher says, "Let us begin." And she sits down and smiles.
I love this. I love this ending because, again, about the like full circle of life,
baby.
But there's also the like slight implication of like now she gets to go, not again, but now she actually gets to have her life. She's learned her lesson.
Okay, is that what you took away from it?
I don't like it's the it's okay, Inception again.
Yeah.
It's the end of Inception reading. Read it how you want.
Right, totally.
Either this is us giving you a sign off and that's it, she's dead.
Right.
And this is just us ending on a happy note. Or it is the implication of like
There's more.
She stopped trying to control it. She let herself see, and now she gets to live her life out of order, but she's still alive, just living it out of order.
Right. But like with more acceptance and peace and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like at first she was living her life suppressing it and out of order and terrified, and now she gets to live her life accepting it.
Yeah.
Still out of order, but now she gets to love being a witch.
Totally. Yeah. I think, you can definitely interpret it either way. Mm-hmm. I think, as you said, the kind of larger meaning is this like circle of life idea, just in general. It's also the whole circle of life and death thing is also very baked into who Rio is and her character, and being the original Green Witch of like, Green Witch is supposed to be like things growing.
Yeah.
Life sprouting, and then returning to the earth. So it is this like cyclical idea, I think, is what they're really going for, which I think is beautiful.
I do too.
And then
I love it. Like
we get time in a bottle.
This
play us out.
Whole thing just hits on an emotional level that anyone can resonate to.
Totally.
Because it's just the grand theme that all of us struggle with in life, which is acceptance. Ultimately, it's acceptance.
Sure. Yeah.
Including acceptance of our finite nature.
Yeah. Acceptance on multiple levels.
Yeah.
And I think the importance of community is like another big one.
I would say that's like the secondary theme. Very close to the, like, it's like primary's here and secondary is just like right there.
Yeah. Just a little bit lower.
Yeah.
So much fulfilled in this episode.
Yeah.
We got all Lilia's bits and bops put together here. Also, I found it interesting that it was like she has these like outbursts that she has, and then also the tarot card readings for each member. And it's like it's the same thing that's happening, but it's almost two separate, like.
I feel like her outbursts are her trying to control it.
Ooh.
And her tarot card reading is when she's accepting it. Because her outbursts seem panicky.
True.
Because that's how the lines are read.
Most of the time, yeah.
And that's when it was the most chaotic cut.
Yeah.
And then the tarot cards are, I mean, it's her final reading and it's her final acceptance, which is why she's always, it's still an outburst, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a difference to it. Like you said, a separation.
Right. Yeah. Amazing episode. Amazing time travel concept. Hats off to editors, the writers, the actors.
Hell yeah.
Special effects, practical effects. Like, it's just truly like
the set.
Production. Like, oh my God. Just a full team effort here on this one, for sure.
I like this.
Yeah, I think I'm remembering now a Jack Schaefer quote. She was talking about this episode, and she said something about like brains were melted trying to put this episode together. And I was like, yeah, girl, I don't blame you. Sounds like my worst nightmare.
I mean, I feel like you just got to write out all the beats onto note cards.
There's a lot of note cards.
The note cards.
There's a lot of note cards happening for this one, for sure. For sure. So that was episode 7, Death's Hand in Mine. Now that title makes a bit more sense as well. We're talking about Rio, but we're also talking about metaphorical death. So we have 2 episodes remaining. Should I tell you the title of the next episode? Okay.
Yes, please. Let's go.
All right. Episode 8. Penultimate episode is called Follow Me, My Friend, to Glory at the End.
Well, Jen's the leader.
Is she? Jen's the path ahead.
Jen is the path ahead.
Who do we have left? We have Agatha, Teen, Jen, and Rio.
Does Teen get a trial? Seems like no, but yes. I mean, what? I know, like, we're like out of trials. We're out of trials and we got 2 episodes left. And like WandaVision was like, hey, it's the 8th episode, so we're going to stop following the formula. So like.
Right. They broke it a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because who would we have less? Because Jen has already had a trial.
7 aren't pursuing them anymore, so.
But they're still on the road.
Is there like a final trial? That
like for everyone?
Yeah, that just tests
everyone
them all
left
as a coven rather than as individuals.
Perhaps. But otherwise, if not, Agatha and Jen have already had a trial. So that would leave Teen and Rio. If Rio has a trial or... I mean, we have 2 episodes left. you're like, no.
No. That just feels weird. Why would she have a trial? Right. She doesn't need anything. She doesn't need power. She doesn't need.
That's true.
She's just death.
That's true. Also, like, is she part of the coven or not? You know?
I mean, in the way she's a part of everyone's coven.
This is true. Death comes for us all. Yeah. Okay. Follow me, my friend, to glory at the end. So any other predictions besides that?
This is impossible.
How so? Got nothing.
No.
Got nothing.
No, I don't.
I mean, okay, how about character beats?
Okay, that's an easier question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jen has more or less completed her arc. She maybe have a final little bit of like her final, I am stepping into my role. Well, I have regained my power. Here I am.
Well, we know also she like more grief for her now because now like Lilia was her friend now.
Yeah.
And she's lost Lilia.
That is true. She might, you know what? She's angry in general, so she'll probably be angry at death. But like, it'll be fine.
Right. Will Rio rejoin?
I kind of think Jen is gonna, after all of this is over, Jen's gonna start her own coven and be more successful than ever.
Ooh, you think Jen makes it out of the road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they all die, because death comes for them all.
Right.
Which is possible. I'm not ruling that out.
Yeah.
Because Billy dying, while sad, he's already kind of died. So
right. Like, can he really die again? Yeah.
It's Marvel. So, you know, he might die and come back to life.
Right.
Again.
Also, theoretically, if he was killed, like, would he just find another body?
Right.
Would he just do the same thing again? Yeah.
Is that his ability? Or was that the universe?
I think we're meant to think it's part of his magic.
Because he's telepathic.
Right.
Ouch! Does that mean Tommy is just gone? Yikes. Okay, let's talk about Billy.
Billy boy.
Oh.
What?
Reuniting.
Are we getting Tommy back at the end of the road?
Well, if Tommy's dead, then that would imply that reuniting with Tommy would mean
he was dying.
Billy dies.
I mean, in the tarot reading that Lilia did for Teen.
But he has the ability to make his realities come true because he's magician.
He's real powerful.
Yeah, so I guess he could be like his mom and like be like, hey, bro, I don't have to construct a fake reality in order for you to exist. You're just here now. So maybe. I could see that being the cliffhanger, though. Of like, hey, sure. Billy, this is a possibility for you, but
right.
You still have a journey.
He has to go off on another journey to find.
Yeah, because if he's not he's on the road, but he didn't participate at least in the first trial because he didn't drink the wine, right?
No, but he helped.
Yeah, he helped, but they also called him a familiar. But he is a witch. I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, yes, you're on the road, and yes, you're learning their lessons, but like, you still have a journey after this, bud.
Yeah,
you're
I agree.
Not done.
Yeah,
you're too young.
Well, no, and like he was the mid-season, big reveal. Like this show is setting him up.
Yeah, and maybe his uniting is just like the William versus Billy, and those two finally just coming together.
Right, like being both of them basically.
Yeah, 2 in 1.
I like that.
Yeah, maybe. And then Agatha, oh god, does she die at the end of this?
That's crazy.
I don't like that though. I don't think they would do that. It's a possibility as well. Again, I think it's possible for all of them to die, but
also her history with Rio/death.
Yeah.
Would her die, like, how would her dying play into that whole story?
The end of their love story, or is it just the beginning?
Yeah.
I'm not as concerned with that because I think this next episode, now that we know who Rio is, we're getting more Rio. We are finally getting more Rio this next episode because we have to process that now,
right?
With her in
and we
the
have
scenes.
to see her.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I will say, actually, I will just point out something in regards to the next trial of it all. What color were the vines that we saw?
Green. So it is Rio's trial. I don't like that.
I listen, I will neither confirm nor deny. I'm just saying.
It's just like not a trial at all.
I'm just saying you're correct. She's around.
It's not a trial at all. She's just there at the end of the road because all paths lead to her.
All roads lead to her.
And maybe it's like that chess game scene in, I forgot that Swedish movie's name, but where he's playing chess with death on the shore. Maybe it's something like that, where they're just having a conversation and they have to defeat death. You don't know what I'm talking about. That's
I have
fine.
no idea what you're talking about. Sounds kind of sick, though.
I remember watching the movie. I cannot tell you very much what it was about. It was like a soldier that returned from the Crusades during the Black Death, which ignore the timeline because that doesn't match. But it was a very interesting movie. And I remember having a lot of emotions about it, but I can't tell you the plot.
And he plays chess with death.
He does.
And death is a man?
Yes. And it was a wonderfully moving experience.
Well, now that I think about that metaphor, actually, there might be some chess playing with death.
Yeah, so I'm kind of, that's where my mind kind of goes with Rio, where it's like, and that's the thing too, it's not leaves on the ground that are green. It is the vines.
Right.
So I just think that doesn't mean it's her trial. Like, it's just leading to her.
Well, it's been the vines and the leaves up until now.
Okay, fine.
Remember when they opened the piano and it was like purple vines?
Oh, fine.
Yeah. It's both.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's death's trial. I think it's just death is there and there's something going on.
Okay, so is anyone else going to die? / is everyone going to die?
Yes.
Okay, more death to come.
Yes, grief.
Yeah. Okay. That's the through line.
See, I feel like this is a trick question because we're gonna learn that Nick, Agatha's son, died. So yes,
Nikki, right?
Someone dies. I don't know. I mean, everything's possible. I think there is a story where everyone could die, and that's the whole story. But I also know that this is Disney.
I was gonna say, is there a story where we bring everyone back?
How dare you? It is possible.
I feel like
Rio is death, but I don't think they would do that. Maybe Alice.
I was gonna say for Lilia, that would feel wrong.
Yeah, Lilia, she's done.
She's done.
She's done.
And she's at peace.
Alice, possibly. Mrs. Hart, possibly.
Possibly.
Again, this is Marvel and Disney, and everyone's always coming back from the dead.
Maybe at the end of the road instead of, well, now because I'm suggesting this, you're going to know it's not it.
Like, exactly. I'm like, I know what you're trying to do here.
I was gonna say, maybe at the end of the road, instead of Billy wishing for Tommy back, he's going to wish for Alice to come back to life. But can you reverse death?
No.
We talked about
yes,
that.
You can, because it happens all the time.
Yeah. We talked about that in WandaVision of like, you can't bring people back from the dead. It's not allowed.
No, but Wanda didn't. She just generated.
No, she just created new souls.
New life. Yeah. So if Tommy is dead, then Tommy is dead, and maybe that's what Billy has to reckon with.
What we accept.
Yeah. Billy was just the lucky one. I don't know. This is Marvel. Alice could come back. You are right. Maybe you're leading me the wrong way, though. I don't trust you.
I admit nothing. Nothing. Okay, are you still tracking on your Agatha redemption story?
Yeah.
You think that's going to happen?
That was the final point I want to get to. We are finally going to learn Agatha's real, not the whole story, but we are going to learn
her past.
Yeah.
Her
narrative,
foundations.
her version of the narrative.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Again, not the whole narrative because she is very guarded.
Yeah.
But I think she's going to finally be the one to tell her story for once.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Maybe about her son. or about.
I mean, we do need that story. We need that story.
Yeah, that's been hinted at a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially with Rio being like, that's not your son, Agatha. And it's like, well, now that she's dead, maybe she knows where her son is, which is in the grave.
That boy isn't yours.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
She did. She had to do something because it was her job.
Right. Yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
Yeah, so.
There's something, what did she say? There's something I had to do, even though I didn't want to do it. It was my job.
Yep.
And it hurt them.
Yep. Her son's dead.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the point.
That's it.
That's the grief that Agatha has to grapple with.
Not that she like sacrificed him or just he just died.
He died. That's it.
Well,
but I mean, hey, the crying cradle, the Necronomicon, I don't know.
Right? There's definitely still some.
It could have been one of those things
there
where it was like a monkey's paw type of deal, where she was like, "Yeah, I'll have the Necronomicon," not knowing the cost.
True. That sounds likely, actually.
Yeah.
That sounds like something Agatha would do.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I want that magic dark book. Who cares about the consequences? Okay. Well, next time then we will be watching Follow Me, My Friend, to Glory at the End. Just 2 episodes remaining.
What's the final episode called?
You want it now?
Yeah.
All right. Episode 9 is called Maiden Mother Crone.
Okay.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, now you know. That's the full run. Yeah, and I can tell you there's going to be some more twists and turns.
Naturally. Even
Even after this huge reveal of who Rio is and Lilia leaving us, we still have some interesting stuff to unfold. So,
looking forward to it.
yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want, you can follow the pod.
Check.
On YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hit that subscribe button. Smash the like.
All the YouTuber things. Also, you could leave us a comment or a review on one of those platforms and let us know your unhinged Agatha All Along theories. How much do you love this timey-wimey time travel?
I would say no
Lilia
spoilers in the
episode.
comments, but like by the time we get these
By the time we get these out, it's not going to matter. Yeah, and also you can email us at theshowoffpod@gmail.com. Send us your takes, and maybe we'll talk about it on a future pod. Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, y'all.
Bye!
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Show Off. If you enjoyed this one, go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast and give us your review of our episode pick for this week's pod. You can also email us at theshowoffpod@gmail.com. See you all next week.